point chisel.
Yep.
So you think like at this point, in the next, I would say, 2 weeks, like these are the last, to me, opportunities, if any, and I don't really think this is going to happen either, but if Kaepernick was going to get a job in the NFL, I feel like the iron is never going to be hotter
than it is right now.
Yeah, just with, like Buffalo and San Fran again, going back there, like.
I would say yes.
Because there's a lot of suck that he could play in.
Because somebody make the argument, well, a lot of teams were in the same position last season and nobody hired him.
Yeah.
But I feel like since Eric Reed got picked up, it's kind of like, well, maybe
he
people
was
are softening their
25.
stances on it to some degree.
25,
I get that.
26.
As a safety, though. Kaepernick is a quarterback. Sometimes if you've got some talent as a quarterback, you can play for a little bit longer.
He certainly could play now. He could say if Derek Anderson just got caught up for a job.
Doc was damn near our age now when he retired.
That's
I mean,
true.
now that's
He's
a Hall
an
of Fame
exceptional
talent,
yeah,
obviously.
He's exceptional.
He could definitely get a job with all this trash out here right now in certain areas. But it's about somebody opening that door, and you need an owner that's willing.
And it's got to be a number that he's comfortable with, because that's the reason why he didn't go play for Denver, wasn't it? They weren't trying to give him the right amount of money.
I don't remember.
Yes. But yeah, I do remember reading that.
And then a lot of it is, you get him in there, he's not really, from what I saw, the layman that I am in terms of football. I mean, I'm a fan just like anybody else. But you see the mobility. I don't know that you necessarily saw the accuracy when he was at his best.
Indeed.
So to ask a pro-style offense like a Buffalo or like a San Fran who don't have, like it'd be one thing if maybe Patrick Mahomes got hurt, like.
But even still,
Russell
them passes
Wilson got hurt.
Them passes got to be pinpointed.
Tennessee got hurt. Like teams where they already have an established mobile component that Kaepernick
Carolina or something
carry
like
up.
that.
Right, Carolina be tailor-made. But even without that, I think he ain't getting no younger.
No,
he's still closer to the apex of his abilities than he's ever going to be day by day. That lessens. But
see, at the same time, he has. I think he's still in good shape. He hasn't been playing for the past 2 seasons.
Last video I saw of him, he was like working out in off season. So.
Yeah, I need to see him throwing footballs through, little circle apparatuses out there. What I'm saying?
What I would say he's got going for him is that, yes, he already played in the NFL, ran deep into the playoffs, all the way to the finals, to the championship, Super Bowl. He's taken 2 seasons off. So he's still taking 2 seasons off. And I know you might think he might be a little rusty, which he probably is. But he hasn't taken 2 seasons of abuse.
Correct.
As a quarterback.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So he might be a little bit older, but he hasn't been beaten up.
Yeah.
He hasn't even been playing backup or anything like that. He's just kind of just been practicing to get back in the league. And he already was good when he was in the league at the time, as far as quarterbacks are concerned.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, though.
On his way out, he wasn't that good. I'm just, hey man, we're going to keep it all the way funky.
I think
on the podcast.
In like a totality sense for his career, I would say middle.
Okay, I can agree with you.
The accuracy was looking trash.
I mean, it's kind of like what led to Donovan's demise. Like Donovan had a really good career. Like to me, he is the marker. Like if you're better than this, you deserve real Hall of Fame consideration. Yeah. But if you're not, then you don't even deserve it at all. Because I don't think he deserves to be in it. But he had a good enough career that measured against him, better than him, sure. Not as good as him, not even in the conversation.
Like saying his name, I'm not like, oh no, he can't be a Hall of Famer.
To me, that's how I looked at it. Like he did some great things here in Philly, but he didn't do enough.
Right.
And towards the end, those worm balls was like every other pass, and it's just like his regression was when you look at Drew Brees, when you look at Tom Brady, who are getting older, getting better. Phillip Rivers. And then you see him just.
Well, that's because he lifted too many weights, and he got too literally yes, dog. It was just all compounded and all up in here, and that's why he couldn't make a 5-yard low dump off slant or nothing that would.
So
wouldn't
to
be
that
at your
point,
ankle.
it's not as if you see the same people I mentioned. You don't see them getting bigger. You know what I mean? So that there is something to be said.
Like I'm saying, they better with their diet, better what they eating. Focusing on the different, like when you see those type of cats, you constantly see them working on different types of throws.
That's like
accurate,
the evolution of an athlete, I think. Like like B-Hop and Floyd are great examples of that. And Tom Brady, I would put in that same class. Like when we were kids, you know, we probably talked about this once before. Like Sugar Ray Leonard was like an OG triple, like old timer, and he was like 36, 37. You know what I mean? Whereas Lennox Lewis was an aging heavyweight, but he was like 38. You know what I mean? But like Floyd, even in his lower to mid 30s, is performing at a high enough level where he can garner any amount of money he wants fighting. He could pick a fighter right now and make all types of box office
40
records.
now, right?
Yeah, I think he's 42, 43.
Yeah, exactly.
And B-Hop was 50, still fighting at a high level. And it's just because the evolution of what we know about nutrition, what we know about exercise, what we know about those type of things. We know we can't just have a steak, have 3 Big Macs, smoke a cigarette, go to bed, bulk up. Like it is all of that.
Yeah.
Factors into it. You gotta have a special athlete to do that part too. Absolutely.
Because it don't matter what era it was, like you had to have that discipline, man. Like you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So
I want to come back to, except for the early baseball days.
What do you mean?
Babe Ruth. Show up to the game.
Early football too. Like you know, pictures of like basketball too. Len Dawson on the sideline smoking a square at halftime. Like, let me get my win right. Go out here and bust their ass.
exactly, it was a different time.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Floyd. So I want to circle back to Floyd later and some other things that I heard. But no, like to your point though, is Kaepernick running out of time? Quite possibly. And there is a lot of quarterback BS going on, like Chad Kelly.
Who?
Broncos backup quarterback.
Well,
Jim Kelly's.
We don't even
Jim
recognize
Kelly's
him.
Is he Jim Kelly's nephew for real?
Yeah, he's Jim Kelly.
Small world. Okay.
I think that's part of the reason why he's gotten so many breaks. He got like arrested in high school.
Shit, who fucking
But you didn't hear what happened recently? He went and broke into some people's house. He was like drunk.
Oh,
you didn't hear that?
This the boy that dressed up. They was talking about this. I heard about this earlier. He dressed up in some type. They was at a Halloween party or something. He got super toasted. I forgot what he had on, but it was some type of sheriff uniform or something like that.
I didn't hear about the sheriff party.
Yes. Yeah. And imagine this, like how we got them couches over there, and this for you. This is your spot. You know what I'm saying? And you come downstairs on a late night, and it's just a nigga in a sheriff suit sitting on your couch.
They started with his wife, those sleeves, right?
Yeah, started with the wife and
awake on the couch, not like passed out.
No,
he's just
awake.
Up and coherent,
got into your crib chilling, and the husband that came down, I think, tried to beat his ass with a
pipe or a hose.
No, they said like a Hoover vacuum or something like that. But you understand?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's all he had.
That's all he had. But listen, he lucky he ain't run into none of these brothers' cribs, cause he would have been over for him, and you had every right to let every hole you wanted to let, every shot, pop.
But the question is, look, how do you get that drunk? That smack.
How do you get in somebody? You broke in somebody's crib.
Yeah, man.
Now I don't know if you broke in or if the door was open or what.
Nah.
But it's not your crib. You're just gonna sit on the couch that's not yours and just chill.
Yeah, I ain't never been that drunk, so I can't really give you a point of reference.
But at any rate, I mentioned him because when the story first broke, you thought he'd been fired immediately. But they just released him today from the Broncos team, from the Denver Broncos.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think he got all the chances.
He's like the boy in the program that was a backup quarterback that was dating the coach's daughter.
And just a constant fuck up.
Right, yeah. So
that's a generational fuck up. Just can't get it right. Well, hopefully this wakes him up. You know, because getting beat upside the head, you be glad you just got your ass whooped with a vacuum cleaner. Real rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you be laid out dead somewhere or with brain contusions. All right? Because I'm mashing it.
Earlier in the joint. That was the De Niro stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly, man. You already know.
We were talking about Kaepernick and Eric Reed. Or are we going to talk about the wild eye that Eric Reed had? So certain, like when I see certain women and their eyes just bug out like that, they're probably not prone to do crazy shit, but just based on those eyes, I call it wild eye. And Eric Reed had just a shining example of wild eye on the field. I guess it was probably with him and Malcolm was talking.
On some hate shit with Malcolm Jenkins.
Right. So that was coming to find out, like, it's almost like a division in the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe one ain't as militant as the other one. Like, I'm quite sure you being the militant brother you are, you got to side.
Exactly.
So who's right?
Militant brothers like Mustafa. All right.
So who's right?
It's like 1995. You'll never let that go.
No.
That would have life, man.
You already know.
What's wrong with you? That's why we podcast boys, huh?
Now look, I don't know enough details about all that, but so Eric Reed supposedly, so I don't know the detail, supposedly was upset at Malcolm Jenkins because Malcolm Jenkins and Anquan Bolden had went and met with the NFL owners. What was this, last season?
Yes.
And they tried to make it, they worked out a deal where the owners would donate $90 million to anti-racism organizations.
Whatever, they were trying to get shit done.
For them to stop protesting. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I guess Eric Reed and Colin Kaepernick were a little upset because they weren't privy to that meeting, or they weren't invited to that meeting.
You weren't in the league.
So... Yeah, but I don't look. The thing is that they started that
alumnus.
Okay. But see, that's the point. I don't think any of that should matter. They started that movement, so I would think it would be a common courtesy, out of respect. Like, we're going to get these two guys and who started the movement, because it was still fresh. It wasn't like it was an old movement at that point in time. Mm-hmm. We're going to have them come in and sit in on this meeting, give their input and their ideas.
No,
why not though?
Because did y'all help set this shit up? Did y'all have? I mean, listen.
But they created the whole situation.
You can create all you want, but you ain't dot your I's, cross your T's on this. Like, we put the work in and did this thing. No, I'm just saying, being honest. Yes, y'all started it with the kneeling. Cool. Understand that. That brought upon this. But in that, who's to say they didn't probably try to reach out to them in the mix of that, and they're on some shit like, no, we cool, we not dealing with the man. Well, but you know what? We want to deal with the man.
Well, listen,
let me just ask you this. Let's say hypothetically, me and Staff just had somebody else in your seat, and we just started doing a show to the point where we blew up and started getting money off it.
If
you would harbor no resentment towards us?
Exactly.
Because if it's me, I would.
Of course I would, but in that, you got to take out a key component. Who's to say that they fucking didn't try to reach out to them in the beginning of this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying to you. It's not... I can't sit back and say that they didn't try to reach out to them along the lines of this. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they didn't, it's fucked up.
That's what I'm saying. So,
if they
as far as the animosity is concerned between the two of them, it would make me think that maybe they didn't reach out to them. Because I would think, ideally, they would want to have a sit-down with the owners. I thought that's what Colin Kaepernick was trying to get for the longest time, but the owners had just blackballed him from everything.
Gotcha. And just put a platform there for you.
Because I feel like if they really wanted to sit and talk with Colin Kaepernick, he would have had a job. So that's the whole thing. Right. Malcolm Jenkins never lost his job. And some people were saying that Malcolm Jenkins didn't make the ultimate sacrifice like Kaepernick and Eric Reed did because they lost their source of income. They lost potentially their careers. But Malcolm Jenkins maintained his career. He maintained his job. He never took a knee. He always gave us a fist. And I guess that was part of the agreement that they would stop kneeling for the $90 million in donation to anti-racism organizations. But also at the same time, Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed are trying to bring attention to police brutality against black people.
So
donating to anti-racism organizations means that you're donating money to organizations that are fighting racism that affects Asians, that affects Mexicans, that affects Indians, that affects Middle Easterners and African Americans. But it's not exclusive to black people.
To that point, that's one thing, that you're talking about right there. That's what happened with the actual NFL owners. But to Malcolm Jenkins' point, to somebody like, what's his name that's on our team, Chris Long, if I'm not mistaken. These brothers in the intercity of Philadelphia, took that police brutality seriously, met with them, and created some type of shit, you know what I'm saying, and work on all that type of shit. So you got different battles, but these brothers is putting their bootstraps on and getting in the mix of all that. Not for nothing, all I hear about, I ain't heard shit else with Eric Reed except kneeling and this, that, and the third. You get what I'm saying? What the fuck is he doing in his community to make things happen and get it right?
Not to say that he's not.
But I ain't heard about it. So that's all I'm saying.
Like, this boys move in silence. Like, it's not the type of thing that they want to get credit for, but that doesn't mean that they're doing. I'm just saying, void of whether we know or not. You can't really be like, what the hell is he doing in his community? You already know where he's from. Like, maybe he's just doing shit in his hometown because he's not messing with some friend.
And that's true indeed. But I'm just saying, this type of stuff, this is what they also got going on, and this is what they do. And like, I can't really, to call Malcolm Jenkins a sellout or some shit like that, that's like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
but come on, man. I get that. I'm not calling him a sellout. I'm not putting that label on or anything like that. But I'm just trying to maybe understand where the animosity is coming from.
Yeah, because it was real. Like, he wanted to attack that man.
And is it one of those things where Malcolm Jenkins is I don't want to call him the Uncle Tom or whatever.
Somebody got to play the middle sometimes, don't they?
Sometimes, they feel like certain people get chosen to lead certain movements, maybe because they'll be a little more controllable and not as rebellious, so to speak.
Can it not be controllable? Can it be more intelligent and maybe not as
And
militant as it need to be? Maybe for these owners in the NFL, you can't be so Black Panther. You got to have a bit of everything going on to actually sit down and even talk with them. You needed somebody that could be a liaison like that. And Mount stepped up for that.
Thing. How can you tell the rebel how to rebel?
I'm not telling you how to rebel.
But he's just giving you the hypothetical in terms of what.
You can tell that can make somebody upset.
I mean, this is sort of like the Jackie Robinson theory. You know what I mean? There's a reason why Satchel Paige, Larry Doby, Josh Gibson weren't the first African American in the majors because they needed somebody A, talented, yes, but B, with a thick enough skin.
Exactly.
They wouldn't run up in that crowd and whoop somebody's ass as a result of getting a slur or getting something thrown or spat at them. So it all matters. Like, that's a real phrase that I use a lot at work. And with you saying that, like that, it made me think of, like, at work one day, I was talking to a Black employee. I'm a supervisor at my job. And they were like, I'm glad you're one because I'm not sure how much of a real nigga that other one is. Like,
so you a real nigga at work?
I'm very cool with everybody there.
Is that in your file?
right. So, but
certified nigga,
and I know exactly who they were talking about. And what made me think, and what I thought about was like, I know that person. Me and that person are real cool. That person is as real as anybody. There is likely somebody having that same conversation with that person about me. Like, I'm glad you're in because, you're the real one. And, that person might have been a supervisor for years, might have been new. None of that matters. It's just as perception based. But if whatever you think you should be doing in order to get the point across works, then you can't really
all individuals, right?
Worry so much about the perception. All you got to do is worry about what you're doing. Exactly. So as long as Malcolm is staying in his lane and taking care of business, it's like, haters gonna hate.
Yeah. So I mean,
and that's without knowing all the facts, like you said. But just from a peripheral standpoint, it's just like if anybody should be forward, being combative, both of you guys are trying to come to the same goal.
Exactly.
Like, this is all about the unification
and pushing it forward.
For you to be like the agent of the attack, like everybody was cool to you. Eric Reed came into the mix with the wild eye, wanting to start some shit. It's like, why would you approach it that way? I don't care how mad you are. You have to also always worry about the perception. So you should have handled that differently.
They could have handled it differently. Yeah, I don't think you should have approached them like that on the field. Maybe that's a conversation they could have. Honestly, it's a conversation they could have had behind closed doors. Right. It didn't need to be had out there on the field.
Like how Cam did. Like Cam Newton with Kelvin Benjamin. Exactly. He stopped him right when in the warm-ups. Like, oh, fam, let me talk to you about some shit you said.
Exactly, real quick. And with a smile and chilling.
Right, exactly.
And if you want to walk off and you want to give me the crazy eye and all that dumb shit, cool. But we handled that before.
Granted, Cam is 6'6", 260, so he kind of knew.
Eric Reed wasn't even supposed to be out there when this was going on. When they was meeting out in the middle of the field, that was captains. This nigga just got signed 2 weeks ago. All right, you understand? He ain't the captain of nothing. He just came out there. He just came out there.
Hold up.
What my man say? All that rebel outlaw shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, if nothing else, it was a bad look.
Exactly.
For you to use that platform to bring awareness to your cause. Which makes it
we get your feeling.
Yeah, but it just makes your cause contrary to Malcolm's cause when they're supposed to be the same cause.
Exactly.
In terms of how everybody else.
And we both, and at the end of the day, y'all both brown men.
Right.
Like, come on, man.
Where's the value in showing that?
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole point. We supposed to be unified. This ain't the time for that shit. You know what I'm saying?
We've always dealt with that. I mean, Malcolm and Martin didn't get all up in each other's faces like that, and like it's about to come some blows or something. Right. But they both had two different ideologies and two different.
And Malcolm still handled it like a classy dude.
Black people.
Like when asked about it, he just like, I don't want to talk about Eric. You know what I'm saying? They could have went off. I don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean? Whatever. But
I guess they just wanted that unity. I guess Eric Reed just wanted that unity. Everybody being in step and on the same page. But you're not always going to get that.
No.
You're dealing with people like that. So. And also they like him, because Jinx is an eagle. You know what I'm saying? Step to the Eagles.
Right, and that's also like our
you gotta get past that first.
Our unconscious bias to it. Us here, we're already going to gravitate towards Eagles because we're
Let me talking that shit in Philly. Y'all got off lucky too.
Right.
I'm not saying I agree with him, but I understand where it comes from. Yeah. Now his approach. I'm not with him on that, but I understand where it comes from. I get it. Hopefully they can hash all that out and maybe work something out. I don't know, but
he made it difficult with that damn approach, man. Like that's.
I ain't really got nothing to say to you when you calm your eyes and your mouth down, nigga. Maybe I'll talk to you. You know what I'm saying? But for the meantime, I'm a fist you. All right, bro.
Wow. And how long should the protest last? I mean, you think about it, that protest could last forever because you're trying to deal with systematic racism. You have to get police to stop murdering and beating black people at these disproportionate rates. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm not saying that the protest should stop. Maybe it should go on as long as we have that issue in the black community.
Man, ain't nobody been kneeling all season, man. They ain't been doing that kneeling shit. You know what I'm saying? Only maybe a couple brothers been putting the fist up, doing this, that, and the third. Like, you know, we beyond just that now. Now it's, like I said, next level. What's the next steps and what we're trying to do to impact it? You know what I'm saying? That was the thing that set it all off. Now we're trying to move forward with it. So, you know, shout out to you brothers in the movement.
Did you guys see, I think you sent this to us, Megyn Kelly? Is that her name?
Blackface is okay.
Yeah.
What happened?
She's like this political pundit.
No, I know her.
Well, she's on the Today Show now. Was that the Today Show or
was it just the Megyn Kelly show?
Okay, I don't know shit about daytime TV. I got a job.
She's on one of them good networks.
But anyway, she was in her forum. I feel like everybody just took a blueprint from The View, in that I just see a handful of people. Yeah. And, you know, 3 chicks, 1 homosexual male, and
exactly.
they shoot the shit about whatever. I don't know that guy. He might have been straight shot. But they were talking about Halloween.
9 times out of 10, he's whining.
They were talking about Halloween costumes, and she was saying like somebody caught flack last year for wanting to be Diana Ross as a costume woman, and as a result, this white woman being Diana Ross like tanned her skin up, and she was saying there shouldn't be anything wrong with that.
Yeah, historically, you got to know the history of blackface, how white people just dressed up in blackface and afros and created the red lips and created those stereotypes, perpetuated some of the worst stereotypes about black people.
Our parents are old enough to know and probably have a working knowledge of Amos and Andy.
Right,
you know
so you need to know that just being culturally sensitive, you should never, if you're white, never put on blackface. Just let that one go. This comes back to, I think we had this conversation.
Get you a mask, dog. You don't do no blackface.
There are certain things that I guess white people just need to realize that they just shouldn't do. And I think that's the problem, is that they hate not being able to do something that
it's like N-words and rap lyrics.
That's going to be an episode too.
And like I said before, look, 400 years, black people could do stuff white people couldn't do. Read, be free, own property,
not be raped,
you know, not be a slave. You know what I'm saying?
Not be killed.
Give black folks 400 years of being able to do a few things that you can't do, and then we can come back to the table and revisit these things and hash these things out. Blackface, you want to let them wear blackface now? That's about 400 years. Okay, you want to let them say the N-word?
Maybe for the Halloween episode, we should all have on like Caucasian face.
The only person I think who's blackface has been, do you want to say done well? 2 times I can think of. What was that? The Richard Pryor movie with what's the white guy's name?
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
No. Oh, Silver Street.
Yeah. And Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. No, Lincoln Osiris. You are right.
I mean, you know, right. I think that's.
I love some of them greens. Back before the war broke out. Saucy,
I did not know that was him. I thought it was a black dude in the posters. Man. I did not know that was him. That was so crazy, man.
I don't know if it was that or Iron Man that gave me a new respect for Robert Downey, but that helped.
That Tropic Thunder.
He was fucking phenomenal in that joint, man.
Tropic Thunder is the one that set it off.
He was good in that. You're absolutely right. But you know, like the blackface and the Charlie Chan,
let all that stuff go. Like you can't do it. You know, that ain't blackface to be Diana Ross.
But it ain't so much that you can't do it. Like you can't condone it. You can't, especially be in a position of power where, you know, your words carry that weight, where you're on that platform. Like, I don't know who she is, but she apparently came from Fox News or something like that. So she's banking. Ain't no way she went to NBC and got a pay cut. You know what I'm saying? So for you to have that voice into, well, it's okay to have blackface.
And to say that, when I grew up, it was fine. Like, I think she's not even 50 years old yet. Like, no, it wasn't fine.
Well, right. Like, and then you ask where she grew up, and it's probably such and such Louisiana or Mississippi or something like that. Right. So, yeah, no, man. It's
kill niggas, Arkansas.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let that one go. Just don't do it. And also, you
that's
know,
why they changed the name.
I think the whole conversation stemmed from them banning all those certain costumes on college campuses, because over the past couple years, you've probably seen the articles. There's always some frat or some sorority that has some kind of
somebody in blackface gets hung.
Or
and everybody else is with them, like
party. Right. It's like, oh man.
Or they have like a tunnel and they're painted up Mexican
with stereotypical costume.
Well, it's Halloween.
Yeah.
No, dog, you dress up. I'll punch you in your face. You come around here, blackface on the Hitler joint. Punch you dead in your face. People should have taught you better, dog. You know what I'm saying? I got some candy for you.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Do you anticipate kids coming here Halloween?
They'll come here if the lights
Them niggas gonna come?
Were you here last Halloween?
No niggas.
I don't remember either. Okay, they come to your crib all the time, right?
Yeah, but I ain't that light off.
We ain't talking about that right now.
You know what I'm saying? That light off.
Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? I was just curious because I mean, I don't have children, so I don't know. Do you take your kids out? Like, is that a thing still?
They go. My wife takes them out trick or treating someplace. I ain't grow up trick or treating. I don't know about that.
Right.
Like this year I'll be doing it with them.
Okay. Yeah, see, I grew up crew thick. Not only did we trick or treat, but it was enough of us that we had to worry about bag stealing. Yeah. No corruption. Just we was deep enough to avoid corruption, and we knew all the bag stealers, so we saw them doing things up the street, but it ain't had shit to do with me and mine. We always got home with our candy.
That happened to me one Halloween.
See, you wasn't deep.
You know what I'm saying? No, we was deep. We just got caught slipping, man. You know what I'm saying? Walking, all jolly.
Damn that.
Give me that.
You know what I'm saying?
Stole my candies.
Oh!
Because the Halloween joint be like the harvest, yo. Like when I was a kid, when we were kids, that would be like a supermarket bag full of shit, man.
Yeah.
Like full. You might even have 2 bags when it was all said and done. And that week in school, man, your desk was just full of wrappers.
Shout out to the niggas.
All the gum under the desk.
Hey, good candy, man. Some quality candy bars, spend money for it, man.
They want some candies.
Right, not those son of a bitches that would just drop off the candy corn and they still stuck in
Nah, I ain't want that. I ain't want nothing in your little
sweaty today.
Neither that I ain't know about that wasn't really like a wrapper or something. You know, sometimes they might try.
Oh yeah, little hood packages.
Cool.
Right.
I don't want your little gummy bears, dog.
They put some Sour Patch Kids in that little bag and just wrapped up the bag. You don't know what other pixie dust they put in there.
Yeah, right, man. Candy. Nah.
When I was a kid, my brother, they used to talk about putting like razor blades and Snickers.
I was going to ask you, you ever know somebody?
Who did?
No, nobody ever did no heinous shit. Like, I mean, strike that. I'm quite sure it was done. It wasn't.
Fortunately, not to be in them neighborhoods.
Yeah, man. I don't ever remember.
You bite into a stick razor blade, get stuck.
Damn, right? Oh man. Like, I mean, and if that's what happened. Then clearly they did it, and like the razor blade has some type of poisonous blood. It's like, you know, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen to the nth degree. Like, I put my age.
I'll be on that shit with my son. Like, now let me see your bag of candy, dog. I'm going.
Who eats apples at Halloween anyway?
Right, it's old part with candy corn. You put your sweaty ass hand and dropping it in there.
If you get cut with a razor blade and an apple on Halloween, you deserve it.
Right, you better get a banana.
What you doing eating an apple?
Right, you giving us fruit for? We alright. We got fruit.
Stupid.
Need that shit.
Eat no apples.
Happy Halloween. Let's get some grapes.
No.
Grapes and thumbtacks now. That's what they do. Nah, man. It ain't cool.
Slap you.
You better get some oranges and some bananas if you want to give out fruit for Halloween.
Trick or treat.
2
more things we want to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to circle back to Mayweather real quick. Did you hear that him and Habib are trying to set up a fight in Russia?
What I know about Floyd is that if you give him an opportunity to fight somebody who can't really box and
he can get $100 million for it,
he gonna take it.
Like, where's the paper and where's the pen? And he'd be stupid not to sign up for that. Like, it's no different than Conor.
Only thing is that he don't want. He's he wants to fight in Vegas, but Habib can't fight in Vegas because of the whole Conor brawl.
Yeah, I can see that. But if everything worked out the way that Floyd wants it to, I can see that fight happening. Just like I can see him fighting Manny again within the next 6 months. Like, he's going to pick the prey. Like, if it's there and it's easy.
I don't want to watch it.
And I'm not mad at him for doing it. I don't want to watch it either. But if
not.
you're going to, man, shit, if somebody going to pay him to do it, he'd be a fool not to take it.
No, I get it.
There are any number of fighters that would be harder competition for him, but also would be less money. Like, everybody that I can think of that would be stiff competition for him wouldn't be the money equivalent to what he would get to fight Manny, or probably what he would get for
Pacquiao at this stage though, he's still
he's a name that the common fan knows.
But
the common fan doesn't know Errol Spence. The common fan doesn't know Terrence Crawford. The common fan doesn't know Vasily Lomachenko.
But I can
and
find
they would
out.
all be better fights, and they would all be entertaining, and I would pay to watch any of those three people fight him. But I wouldn't pay for Manny, and you know the female boxing fan that just keeps up with it to have conversation pieces would hype her dude, or she herself would get the Manny versus Floyd fight because she knows both those names.
You make a valid point.
And it ain't something that I agree with. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you
I don't want, like, Manny Pacquiao's not good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even like, at least I know when Floyd step in that ring,
he's past his prime.
You know what I'm saying?
Say he's not good.
He's a pugilist.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
There was a point where Manny was one of the two
Yeah,
best
shit like
fighters
10
on the
years
planet.
ago, man.
True.
That fight was supposed to be like 10 years ago, man. Like, listen, go pray and go over there and take care of your people, man. I don't want to see you fight no more, dog. Like, I'm just saying, if you get to that point, that's like football player, basketball player, like, dog, why are you still out here shooting jump shots? Why are you even trying to run around?
Somebody paying you to.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
shit.
that payday.
Exactly. We saying all this from a position of not getting money. Like, you know.
Dog, I get it.
And these are M's money. You say you get it.
I get it. I understand. I get it. But then once it's, do it ever get to the quality of the product? Beyond the money.
No,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
draw.
but I just don't think this time around.
If
I
anything,
think the Khabib joint will work. I just don't see a draw for fucking Pacquiao
if
at this
anything,
point.
the fact that their first fight went on with him having that shoulder issue
If he's fully healthy,
speaks to the non-quality component of the
if
fight.
he's fully healthy for his second fight, then people are going to. He's got a whole country that'll pay to see him fight.
Not only that,
You're right.
that's what you have. That's the card that you lay your hat on. Okay, so he'll be healthy this time, so it's bound to be different. Plus, Floyd's X amount older too, so you know if there's ever going to be a time where he beats him, it's now. That's not true. I mean, in real life, there was never going to be a time.
The fighter, the Mayweather was fast.
There was never going to be a time
But
in
I
life
get paid and take care of my country.
where he was going to beat Floyd. Like, even at his very best, like right after he beat Miguel Cotto, which to me was his best win, if he'd have fought Floyd next, he'd have lost. Like, there was never going to be a point where he beat him. So the fact that they waited until they can get like 9 figures, just shout out to them.
Got it. Makes sense, man. I get it from that aspect of the bread. I'm just tired of motherfuckers doing shit for the bread. I want some quality out of this shit. But you make a valid point with the whole shoulder thing. I just thought he got fucked up. You know what I'm saying? First fight.
But like I said, had he been 100%, it would, the 12th round bell would have rang, and they just said, "You know."
All right, so let me last one, and we can roll off of it. Then why won't this punk ass fight Canelo again?
Who?
Floyd.
Because there's risk there.
And that's not a fighter to me.
Big man, that's for sure.
That's
Canelo
not a fighter to me, dog.
155, 160.
But what's that deal he just got? 276 million.
Yeah.
Who got that?
Canelo. For some channel down there.
Yes, I don't.
So now all Mexico can see the fights.
Right.
They don't have to pay pay-per-view to watch his fights or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got some kind of deal.
And Canelo's been a pro since he's like 16 years old. Like, one of the
This is his prime.
magnificent things about him is that he's got this astonishing record. 40-something and 1, I believe. At this point, he only lost to Floyd. And he's like 26, 27 years old. Like,
I've been fucking people up forever.
he is probably the most marketable active fighter in pro boxing.
And he still
right
won't
now.
beat Floyd. I still don't believe he'd beat Floyd.
He probably has the best shot.
He would have a good chance of getting a decision right now. I would.
Would he? Because no, because he's not going to connect.
So he's not going to connect with purpose. But those winging shots that he throws at his arms and his shoulders, where Floyd is just not doing anything but, you know, moving around, not getting hurt, but he's still getting contact. That's how he beat Triple G. Triple G landed the more accurate punches. He probably hurt him more than Canelo hurt him, but Canelo had more volume, more aggression. There's something to be said for the points that you get for aggression. Like,
But
this goes all the way back, and there's a billion of examples of that. But Tito Trinidad versus Oscar is another example of that, where Oscar was accurate. He whooped his ass clearly the first 7 rounds, but even after that, he still moved around and pinpointed his shots, whereas Trinidad was aggressive, Trinidad was hungry, Trinidad was coming at him winging shots, showed that effort, and he won a fight.
I hear that. I just don't think a
I
lot of
think it's
them
messed
went.
up in some ways.
No, I agree.
I totally don't agree.
I don't.
That progression.
I thought
it's
Floyd,
supposed to be a science.
I thought De La Hoya should have won the fight. Easy. Like the fact.
What's the point?
When they said we have a split decision, I was like, what the hell is going on? It's like the fix is in. So if it wasn't that component, Floyd would win, but that's there.
Because
I don't
it's all
see
about
him even
aggression.
catching it.
What separates boxing just from a brawl, from a street fight? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's supposed to be based on a point
But like I
system.
said, if in that aggression he's not getting anything in return, this is what's stopping Floyd from himself giving off any offense, like that period where he's not moving his hands, but he's just defending.
But he ain't gotta move his hand. Well, that's what I'm saying. This don't count the fact that all that you trying to hit, you're not touching me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember the last Canelo fight. It was terrible. Like, it was terrible, dog. Like he was punching.
Floyd,
yes, dog. He was like punching that air.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
He's better now
He was
than
trying
he
to
was
come in, and this nigga.
And Floyd's older.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
I think, like, Floyd's older now. They both are, but Canelo's still in this sort of physical prime.
Definitely, he like
And Canelo's a better fighter than he was back then.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
from having that experience.
No, definitely.
So
that's why I would like to see him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think, above all else, that there would be a difference that glaring in pay for Floyd if he fought Canelo versus Manny versus Khabib.
Do it one. I mean, it's all about what Floyd on anyway. It's like if you coming back to Rumble a couple of times, then take a little warm up and then go to Canelo.
But he's not.
Yeah, exactly.
There ain't no money in that little warm up. Like he's only doing it for like non-figure shit, which
Manny ain't no warm up.
But he's a non-figure warm up.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Sure,
like Manny
sure.
Non-figure warm up, man. Get ready. But then he gonna fall back. Get that 51 and get back on that Mayweather jet. And I ain't mad at you.
I'm about to say I'm undefeated and wealthy. The last thing I want to do is exhaust every day training my ass off to fight some young, hungry dude who's bigger and stronger than I am.